Kia ora again and welcome to another game of action here at the NZRL Youth Tournament for 2023. Puketawhero Park here in Rotorua, and we've got a boys 16s pool match now between the South Island Scorpions and the Mid-Central Vipers. The Vipers, here they are in the green and black, coming to this game, having won their first encounter over Bay of Plenty today by 12 points to 10. And the South Island had a win in their first game too, beating Coastline. Coastline are the team from Coastal Bay of Plenty, and they won that by 40 points to 0. So that South Island team already looking good. And there are all two players that you might want to keep your eye on in the South Island 16s team, folks. Number 12, Bishop Neal, and number 13, Lennox Tuiloma. They've already signed with the Warriors, both players. Up the wires, eh? And I can tell you that there's a lot of excitement in rugby league circles with those two players in particular, Bishop Neal and Lennox Tuiloma, coming out of Christchurch, both of them. There's good sprinkling of Otago and Southland players in this team as well. Nicely led by Katoa Turner, who led that haka from Otago. And he is moved south from Canterbury. And he's fast too. Look out for him. He's a second in the New Zealand Sprint Champs and underage level. Katoa Turner, number 25. Mid-Central, well, they had try scorers in their first win. Joseph Ratcliffe from Manawatu, and second try scorer in their win over Bay of Plenty today was Aho Lile. And here we are underway now with going to be the Vipers with the first carry. So we'll see what they can do against South Island team, as I touched on earlier, won 40-0 in their first game earlier. Good strong carry coming forward here from Dayton Birch, one of the Hawke's Bay players in this team. There's half a dozen of them. Good to see a few players over from the Bay. Good mixture, actually, between Taranaki, Hawke's Bay and Manawatu in this team. Not easy to get to trainings if you're in New Plymouth and in Napier, for example. And Rimene with that carry, and there's a penalty to the Vipers straight off the bat here. So plenty of intent in their carries in this first set for the Vipers. Levi Clements with the touch finder there for the Vipers. He's one of the Taranaki players. 8 in the squad. Taranaki players playing in the squad for this match. 4 from Manawatu. In fact, 5 from Manawatu and 4 from Hawke's Bay. So really good spread across the region. As we watch Bridgman slot into dummy half here off the run from Joseph Ratcliffe. Now Rimene. And there's Clark. Clark with the kick for the Vipers. Going back though for the South Island. And not able to do too much with that one. Great chase by the Vipers. Was the fullback for the South Island, Carius Booth, but there wasn't much he could do with that one, with that kick coming off the boot of Clark for Mid-Central. Very good. So great stuff for the Vipers. Let's see if it continues. Now Rossiter is going to settle it up here. Ariki Rossiter from Hawke's Bay. Bridgman slots back into dummy half here. Now Marino Rimene. He's had quite a bit of experience at rep level, but we've got indication of a shoulder charge there by the referee, and a penalty's been given to the Vipers. So the Vipers just going to take the tap here. Boston Carr, big strong lad in the centres. Boston Carr. That's the goal line just ahead of him there. Vipers looking to get on the board early here. Bridgman. They'll settle it down again for Ratahi. Fast play, the ball for Bridgman is coming. Now Clark again. Oh, he's dropped it. Very messy there, and that'll be a fumble for Mid-Central, and what a bummer for them. Everything up to that point was spot on until James Clark dropped the ball there. So the South Island will get a reprieve. And we'll get our first look at how good they are with the ball. And they put 40 points on their opponents in their first game, so they'll be decent, I'm sure. Good charge off the back here by Lennox Tuiloma. One of those players I've mentioned to you that signed for the Warriors in their junior program, as we see Felice with that next carry. Safi is in at dummy half, and here's a good charge into the line. Pakehe Kakoi that was, and you can see they're starting to move forward nicely now. Isaiah Savia, one of the Cantabrians in the team. Look at the ruck speed, it's spot on. And a penalty picked up there by Dilo Hoya to Pakehe Kakoi. Very smart from him. He knows the rules of rugby league. Christchurch Boys High student. And they're just going to take the tap as they roll through Micah Sula. Safia at dummy half again. And now Tuiloma. Inside that 20 goes Lennox Tuiloma. He's down to the 10 now. Safia at dummy half once more. Here comes to Pakehe Kakoi again. Back inside to Bishop Neal. There's the offload from Neal. Little messy there. And was that gone forward? Yes, it has. So touch there. Good offload by Bishop Neal. But in the end, he didn't knock it on, of course. But it was just a tough one there for his teammate to take. The South Island looking solid going forward, weren't they? If you just tuned in, we have 10 teams in the 16s division this year, 10 in the 18s. And they're all vying to get into Friday's finals. And straight away, the Vipers looking to make some headway, but they've thrown a forward pass. Yeah, if you just tuned in, we've got pool play today. Pool play halfway of tomorrow's action, and then semi-finals later in the day tomorrow, and then we move to the finals on Friday. Good thing is the teams will play classification games as well if they don't make the semis. So they'll continue playing right the way through to the end of the tournament for classification. Now here's a big chance for the South Island. And off goes Tuiloma. Tuiloma running straight at defenders, and did he go over and score the try? He has. Lennox Tuiloma showing his power and strength off the back of that scrum. And Tuiloma is already, as I mentioned, linked with the Warriors, and showing us his outstanding promise right there. One of the St Thomas of Canterbury players that won the national championship earlier on in the year as well, or in the year, only a few weeks ago, up in Auckland. And now here's Karius Booth to line up this conversion attempt. One of the Otago players in the team. He kicked 6 goals in the 40-0 win over Coastline earlier today. Scored a try in that game too. scored 7 tries in that match. Did the South Island Scorpions. Six points to 0 to the Southerners, who look like they've come to this tournament with 2 very good teams, the 18s and the 16s. So the Vipers to restart here. Kicking off, Levi Clements. It's going to be the South Island again. We're going to get off Tuiloma's try with another good set here. And Sula with the first carry. And now Bishop Neal. Big raps on Bishop Neal. Nice ball handling again. The South Island playing with good pace, aren't they? Very good run by Jackson. Look at the ruck speed from Tuiloma. Looking for that penalty again, not coming. And it's a great surge by Savia. Down inside the 20 goes Isaiah Savia. Tuiloma into dummy half. And now Tapeke Kakoi. And charging over maybe to score. Yes, another try. It's Alexander Etuale. Too much pace and speed of play again being displayed by the South Island here. Alexander Etuale to score that try. And we saw the South Island 18s team earlier today. And now this team here, they just seem to be playing the game faster than their opponents, don't they? Quick as a flash. Tell you what, they're not eating steak and cheese pies for breakfast, are they? Carius Booth with the conversion here for the South Island. As he looks to ease them out to 12-0. Tough conversion attempt. Unfortunately, just deflected off the post away. So 10 points to 0 score remains for the South Island. Coached by Manu Clarkson. He coached the team at the District 9s earlier on in the year. Just under 10 minutes to play until half-time. Central have, in the couple of sets they've had, it looked okay. Close to the line, but South Island just look so slick when they have the ball. So defensively, these teams that are playing the South Island teams at these tournaments are going to have to be so onto it. Look at Bishop Neal busting through here. Neal taking on Ratcliffe. Oh, brilliant infield pass. Nicely picked up there by Felice. Good burst by Bishop Neal. Tuiloma in midfield. And here is Torino Jackson. The Otago players in there, loving playing with these Canterbury boys. Charging back on the inside comes Ciolo. Ezekiel Ciolo, a Southlander that's playing up from Invercargill, I'm assuming, as we see. Here comes Tuiloma again, ball playing back row. A good tackle right there to Pakeke Kakoi. Cut down, 20 metres out. Savia at dummy half. Now it comes to Etuele again from the kick there from Lamale. And was that played out by that mid-central player? I think it was. going to be more possession for the South Island. Savia to Tuiloma. Now it's Sula. Micah Sula just a few metres out. Tuiloma looking for a second try perhaps. Oh, might have been an obstruction there perhaps, yes. So frustration there for Lennox Tuiloma. Just getting their execution slightly wrong there, the South Island. So mid-central now, looking for some action against the South Island team. Can they break this defensive line? It's so far proved pretty tough. There's Boston Carr with that carry. Certainly got some big bodies in their team. The mid-central team is Saone Aholele. Almost broke through. He scored a try for mid-central and they went over Bay of Plenty earlier today. Aholele getting the penalty with Clement finding touch. So Central got a full set inside the South Island half here. Delaney taps it to Funga. Comfortably handled by the defence. Savius, a good match in the 14 jumper for the South Island. Ratahi hits the line nice and hard here. The Taranaki prop. Carl Bridgman again. And here's Aholele. Got some good acceleration into the line there. It's a good run by Saone Aholele. Clement comes back on the inside, but well handled by Bishop Neal. And the South Island Sula prop forward. Here's Rimene. Into the 10. So good set here by mid-central. They've gone 45 metres to the last tackle. Can they execute a nice little set play here? Is Clement with the kick. Oh, I think that was knocked on there by South Island's fullback, Karius Booth. And mid-central did well to get a repeat set there. So Karius Booth just getting the little slight knock on. Important mid-central score here, I reckon, to stay within touch. So even though the South Island have looked really good with the ball in hand, they still have only scored 2 tries. 2 very good tries, don't get me wrong, but mid-central are toiling away pretty well in this game. But they don't have any points to show for it. Can that change right here with James Clark? Now, Aholele trying to drive over. He's short. Bridgman gives it to Clark. Could be space out on this left edge. Now Boston Carr, big strong lad. He can certainly offload the ball, but he's wrapped up nicely by the South Island defence on that occasion. Clark again. Aholele. Here comes the mid-central Vipers again through Bird Luke. He's tackled. On the last now are the Vipers. Clark goes for the crossfield kick. And he's overcooked it. So the South Island Scorpions survive. And they'll win the ball back from the 20. Well, mid-central gave it a good nudge. Good crack at the line, but in the end, don't have points to show for it. And here comes Lennox Tuiloma. And yeah, there's a bit of pressure on the head there from Aholele. No, the head there of South Island player, Luciano Felici. Here comes Tuiloma again. What a force he is in the game. Now, here's a great dab from Isaiah Savia, who I've got to say is looking really super sharp at dummy half for the South Island. Tuiloma. Back on the inside comes Palamo. PJ Palamo. Just over 20 metres out. South Island with another score just before half-time. Good shot ball. That's a cracker. Here comes another try. And it's Luciano Felice. Beautifully executed by the South. And they're loving that score, aren't they? Excellent play there. To the line goes De La Hoya Tipakake Kakoi. Excellent work from the number 7 to set that up for Felice. Try number 3 for the South Island. And they ease to 14-0, and they are looking slick, aren't they? Well, just because they're looking slick against Mid-Central, though, doesn't mean they're going to go on and win the tournament. We just don't know what shape some of the other teams are. I had a chat to someone this morning, and he was saying to me, and that person will remain unnamed, just keep your eye on the counties teams. And, of course, we haven't seen them in their matches today, but we will have a look at the 16s tomorrow. They'll feature on our live coverage tomorrow morning. And I think the first of the games that's been streamed tomorrow morning, yes, counties are going to play the Auckland Vulcans in the 16s division tomorrow morning. So we're looking forward to that game. So Booth is good with that conversion too. He's got 2 from 3. And it's 16-0 to South Island. And it's just on a minute to play until half time. Here come the South Island again, looking to create more havoc. Cutting back nicely on the angle was Macaulay Chaplin, but there's some high tackling going on from the Vipers. So South Island will be interesting to see if they want to play with urgency with 10 seconds left in this first half. Time for this to be played. Felice. Tuiloma. Oh, another great little dab there by Te Pakeke Kakoi. And away goes Lamali. Can't quite link up there with Chaplin. And there were knock-ons there, so that will end the first half. But still, some exciting play to finish that first 20 minutes by the Scorpions. They certainly do play with a great attitude. And that is the halftime score. 3-0. It's 16-0.
absolute feast.
Kia ora. Let's get you ready to go out there and have an epic rugby league game. But first things first, let's have a A simple warm-up is a game changer. Not only will it improve your performance, but it will reduce the chances of you getting an injury. And if you want to skip the sore muscles, don't skip the cool down. Now, tackling is a big part of the game, so don't cheat on the technique. A good tackle technique will help keep everyone safe. Collisions happen all the time, so it's important to know how to spot a concussion and what to do if it happens to you or a teammate. Sweet as, have a then go get into it.
At Pertec, we understand that our customer needs their plant and equipment up, running and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Using only world-class product from the likes of Bridgestone and Yokohama, there is no compromise for your valuable machines. Our attention to detail and precision is second to none. It's this customer experience that separates Pertec from the pack. Pertec will keep you operating.
Second half not too far away from starting between the Mid-Central Vipers and the South Island Scorpions in the second half of the 16s pool match between the two sides here at the NZRL Youth Tournament for 2023. We're at Puketawhero Park here in Rotorua. Hope you're enjoying the coverage today. And right now it's the South Island Scorpions in the white and the black leading by 16 points to nil. Tries in the first half to Lennox Tuiloma, Alexander Etoale, and the other centre in the team, Luciano Felice. 2 goals to Kairos Booth. And here's some real energy again off the bench from Macaulay Chaplin. He's been superb since coming into the game midway through the first half. And again, just like their 18s team, the South Island, looks like they have got some very good depth in their team with some excellent players coming off the bench. And they have won a penalty there with a high tackle by the Vipers. So Booth will find touch. And a good thing about the 16s team, yes, it is largely made of category players, but looking down the list here, there are 4 Otago players in there and a Southlander there too. So good to see some other regions represented, and of course we had some West Coasters in the 18s team that is here at this tournament as well. Who won their first game 50 points to nil. So both South Island teams here in the 16s and the 18s look strong. It's Tayala, another bench player that's come into the game. Nicholas is out there wearing 15 now. Good passing here. In comes Booth. Booth back to Ciolo. And Ciolo goes over to score another really well-constructed try for the South Island. That was really well done. All the passes hitting the right mark. Good play from Booth here. And good support from Ciolo to move back on the inside and score the try. And he is the Southlander in the team that is fronting for this game. Got a try in the first game too against Coastline, so he has 2 now for the tournament. And the South Island lead by 20 points to nil with a kick to come. Looking super solid. So here is Booth once again. Try and add the extras. He does so. So good work by Booth. He's a good goal kicker too. Got all the bases covered. The South Island 16s team, 22 points to 0. Kicking nicely clear now of Mid-Central, who started the game fairly well. But once Tui Laimore crashed over for that first try, it's been pretty much one-way traffic. So Manu Clarkson's got his team humming nicely. Halfway through their second game of the tournament. Here comes Chaplin again. Next player up is Palamo, PJ Palamo. See Nicholas is out there wearing the blue headgear, 15. He's at dummy half. Tui Loma looking for that offload. And gets a bit of support from Nicholas as well. Ta'awa Akatu, Nicholas, Lennox, Tui Loma, out to Tai Ala. Here they go again, the South Island. And it's Isu who's out there now, wearing 2. Another powerfully built young lad. Nicholas in midfield. Here comes Tui Loma once more. Nicholas. He goes to kick from Lamaile, but maybe just overcooked it a touch. And now Mid-Central have the ball for the first time really in the second half. What can they do with it? Boston Carr, big strong centre, but not really had opportunities to show his wares so far in the game. Ratcliffe takes a run from fullback. Here's Clark. Rimene, hard-working back rower. He's away, Rimene. Has he got support? They're all white jumpers everywhere. Great run, though, by Marino Rimene. Easily the best move by the Vipers in the game so far. Can they seal it with a try? Throwing himself into the line is Rossiter. Funga waits at dummy half. Here goes the kick from Clement. Bounce is going to be critical here, and it favours the South Island, and away comes Kairos Booth. And here comes Horaki Carl now with one of his first touches of the game. Number 24. Nicholas drives out a dummy half. So the South Island survived that big break by Marino Rimene, Palmerston North Boys High School student. It's sloppy there, the South Island, but slow to get that ball, but in the end, no harm done. As we see Felice, one of the try scorers in the game, move away again. Here goes Te Pakeke Kakoi, who's had a very good game, wearing the 7 jumper. And now here come Mid-Central again through Bird Luke. And now Carr. Boston Carr got plenty of power on those legs. But he's been well contained by the South Island defence in this game so far. Zane McDonald out there now for Mid-Central, wearing 21. And now Clark again. James Clark. Bridgman. A little dab at the line by Tufunga again. He goes to kick from Clement. Better kick that time, but South Island are there, and there's a penalty coming to the South Island there with some illegal play by Mid-Central. Giving away a bit too many penalties, aren't they? See what they can do with this play here, South Island, and whether they can cook something up decent deep within their own half again. See Nicholas Feeding Savia, who looks like he's more moved now into a more middle forward running role. Started off the game at dummy half. Isu offloads to this very good halfback. Te Pakeke Kakoi. Very good match as we see the South Island looking extravagant again. Look at the power and the pace and the urgency they're playing with. And away goes Hauraki Karl on that right wing side. Very good team rugby league again as we saw Booth come up from fullback. And he goes into dummy half to take the next play. Mali out to Savia again. Good play, good switch of play. There goes the kick from Lamali. The bounce is perfect. Was that a try? I reckon it might have been for Palamo. Referee is going to consult his touchy first. Looked pretty good from Palamo. What are they going to decide here, the officials? Well, they're not looking too confident, the players, are they? So they got a little thumbs up there and they're going to award the try, I think. They are indeed. There's the try for PJ Palamo. Very good play again. Way to kick perfectly, although it did take a little deflection, didn't it? But Palamo just managed to keep control of the ball as he forced it. 26 points to 0. And the Scorpions are starting to slay the Vipers a little bit at the moment, or maybe sting them. Three tries in the first half, 2 in the second now. So 5 all up, and we've got Booth having a good day with the goal kicking. Remember, he kicked 6 goals in the first game against Coastline, and they won that 40-0. We actually have a change of goal kicker here, don't we? We'll just try and pick up who this kicker is. Just a minute for you. It's waved away regardless, but tell you what's been pleasant, I guess, equally as pleasant for the Scorpions in this game. Not only are they scoring points, 66 so far in the tournament in just the 2 games, well, 1 and a bit games. They are also have not conceded any points in the tournament so far, which is pretty good. So 66 points scored, none against. Another very good return of the football coming from the Scorpions again. Here comes Siolo, who got that first try in the second half. Nicholas waits at dummy half again. Slow play the ball. Really risking penalties here, the Vipers, on halfway. As we see Neil get that carry. A late offload is a beauty. And look at the elusive skills right here from Etuale. Nicholas waits at dummy half again. Te Pakeke Kakoi opening it up here for Felice. Isu into dummy half. Te Pakeke Kakoi looking good as they spread the ball again. Now the shift back inside from Savia to Jackson. Last play now for the Scorpions. Te Pakeke Kakoi. Big Wipers pass. And it's been dropped there by Katoa Turner. He'd be disappointed there, Turner, to drop that one. He had the space to go over and score, I reckon. Hard luck for Turner. The Vipers survived just. So what can they get with 8 minutes to play in the game? Very little opportunity to post points in this game, the Vipers, especially in the second half, even after that big run by Remene. He made that big bust upfield, remember. It's really the only high point they've had in this second half. Clark. Here's Carr. Looking to feed his winger, but Bird Luke has just dropped it, unfortunately, on that wing. So it's going to be a scrum here for... In fact, the Vipers are going to keep possession. So referee must have ruled a knock-on first from the Scorpions before to touch the Vipers player. What can they do here as James Clark takes a little sneaky snipe from dummy half. Clarkson into dummy half, or rather Ratcliffe it was. And here comes Lele rather again. And now here comes Rashid Naya. He's out there now wearing 22. And Naya on the last play are the Vipers. Clement kicks the ball again. And that is well taken at the back by Horaki Karl over there. So the Scorpions again can fire up from deep within their own 20-metre zone again. A little short ball to Torino Jackson. 5.5 to play in this game. Nicholas rather, leaps away from dummy half. Pitch is 10 metres. And the kick from Rico Mamali. And back goes Joseph Ratcliffe for mid-central. Good field position, tough chasing, good defence again from the South Island Scorpions. So we might just have an injury stoppage in back play. It's all the way back here, and it looks like it's the winger for the South Island, Alexander Etuale. It looks like he's come across with a leg injury there. That's a shame for him. We saw Etuale score a brilliant try in the first half. We hope that's not the end of his tournament. Got about 5 minutes to go here in the 16s clash. Second game for both teams. South Island making no race of this game. 5 tries to 0 in the game so far. The execution has been first class. Far too slick for mid-central, who have fought pretty gamely. But this team in the white shirts is well-prepared, well-organised outfit, both with and without the ball. Naya for the Vipers. Aholele. Once again, Saone Aholele rather. Clark, good short ball. But again, the defence is not missing a trick for the South Island. Having real trouble trying to crack it, aren't they, the mid-central team? The kick is almost there for Mid-Central, but unfortunately it's just gone. Out of touch there from Marius Aholele. Still urgency in the South Island team. Only scored 2 tries in the second half. So in that respects, Mid-Central have gone all right. They've only conceded 10 points. But the problem for Mid-Central is they haven't really looked like scoring themselves. This defence has been too organised and effective. As Neil offloads again in the tackle. And away goes Jackson. And there's the kick from Lamali once more, driving Ratcliffe back. Joseph Ratcliffe, look at all the white jumpers around him. Great chase by the South Island. They are playing this game right to the last second. Here's Boston Carr. Threatened to break through a couple of times. Get his arms free for an offload, perhaps. South Island Savia tries to make that tackle. It's pushed out of the way that time by that Mid-Central player. There was a good run there by Rimene again. He's been effective, hasn't he, with the ball? He made that big break early in the half that they couldn't quite capitalise on, but he's been one of their more impressive players, worked hard on defence as well, and there's going to be a little error there from Rashad Naya with 2 minutes to play. Away goes Savia off the back of the scrum. Maybe one more try for the South Island here in these last 90 seconds. Nicholas. Oh, Jackson with a big fend. What do you reckon the South Island going to score another try here? Lamali. That's good play. All the hands are letting down Booth. It went backwards, but it's been jumped on by the Vipers. So the Vipers get away with one there. Now, can they get on the board with 90 seconds? Well, with 60 seconds to play. Carr threatens to break through once again. Well, Aholele has certainly not shirked his responsibility. And look, not much in that, but just a little hint of a dangerous tackle there from a couple of South Island players. So it's going to be a penalty here for the Vipers. But the South Island team look like they're going to end their second game. Another donut next to their opponent's name. And that's always very good from a coach's perspective. It's unless the Vipers can do something sensational in these last few seconds. Charge into the line there by Aholele once again. So the Vipers with time up. Clark. Short ball is good to Rossiter. And he goes within an inch of scoring. Great try-saving tackle there by Booth. Clark in at dummy half. Aholele. Last play now for the Vipers. Bridgman. Clark is going to go through to score. Well done to James Clark, and the Mid-Central Vipers deserve a score. They have been gamely trying in this match without any reward. But Clark threw a nice dummy there, completely fooled his defender, Siolo. And James Clark gets Mid-Central's first points of the contest. Third try of the tournament. They got 2 against the Bay of Plenty Lakers in their first win, 14-12. But South Island are going to be going to 2-0 in this contest, or in this tournament rather, with this win. Tough conversion attempt from the sideline is waved away. So 26 points to 4. Still don't think we've heard the full-time hooter just yet. Can't be too far away. The South Island is certainly moving forward nicely in this tournament, and the 16s and 18s team, as I mentioned earlier, look hot and are going to take some beating. So Booth restarts play. We're in injury time, and there's a kick that's gone dead, so it's going to be a line dropout. So back go Mid-Central. Well, South Island have a chance to score another try perhaps. Palamo. Now here's Jackson. Bishop Neal. Nicholas is going to score from dummy half. So well done there to Te Awa Katu Nicholas, who goes over to score 6th try in the game for the South Island. Younger brother of Ryan Nicholas, he used to play for the Highlanders. So good job by Nicholas, who's been excellent off the bench for the South Island from dummy half. It's going to be Rico Lamale to kick this one. And he does so. So 32 points to 4. And extraordinary, there's still time to play. Seems like we'll be going for almost 20, well over 25 minutes now in the second half. Very strange too, we only had one slight injury break. But on we go. So Jackson with that carry. Here's the try scorer, Nicholas. Still throwing themselves into the action as Palamo. And there is full time. Well done to the South Island. 32 points to 4. 3 tries in the first half, 3 in the second. Tuiloma got one. Etoale, Felice in the first half. Siolo, Palamo and Nicholas in the second. Good goal kicking too from Booth and Lamali. got the South Island home to a comfortable victory here, and they win their second straight game. Mid Central will win and a loss now with that defeat, having beaten Bay of Plenty earlier today by 12 points to 10. Well, that wraps up our coverage today here on day one of the NZRL Youth Tournament for the boys. We'll be back at 10 o'clock tomorrow with day two action, which includes the semi-finals. We will catch you then.